Hello everyone, it is Monday, and that means it's time for another draft video. Is that right? No, it's Thursday. Hello everyone, it is Thursday, and that means it's time for another draft video. I post one every Monday and Thursday, and we're doing more Rivals of Ixalan. I'll be back with you guys when this draft fires. Okay. Well, I think we probably take Golden Guardian. It's a pretty great card. It does have some variance to it that's not awesome in that you're not always going to be able to get it to flip, but its worst case scenario is a 4-mana 4/4 that blocks really well isn't so bad. And you can, of course, use its ability to fight things. Like you can block with it. Your opponent's just not going to want to kill it in combat either, so it's hard to attack into. Of course, if you manage to flip it, it's even better. And it's colorless, so we're not committing to anything. This pack does have some other good cards in it, but nothing so good that I want to take it over Golden Guardian. Like Expel from Orazca, Siren Reaver, and Bombard are all pretty good. Not to mention Kitesail Corsair. But we're going to start with the Guardian and see if we can make some golems here. Yeah, I think it's the best card in that pack. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. We can have them fight each other and both flip into... It's the one of these that's not legendary too, by the way. So I think I'm going to take another one. That's hard to say no to. Wow. Okay, well. Golden Guardian it is. You can also use it to fight like a bigger creature of ours. We're definitely going to want to be on the lookout for things with 4 power like Orazca Frillback. The question is whether we take it here or we take a removal spell like Moment of Craving. I think I'd probably take Moment of Craving. It's just... And Luminous Bonds is good too, actually. I probably like it a little better. Yeah, let's take the Bonds. Double Golden Guardian to start. We'll see if it disappoints me. I haven't had the chance to play with it yet, so I could be completely wrong about it, but when it flips, it's insane. So, you know, making a Golem token every turn is great. And like I said, the thing that keeps it from being a complete bust is that even if it never flips, it's still a pretty sizable blocker. What do I want here? I don't know. Nothing here is great. I mean, Raptor Companion's fine. We've already got 1 white card, so that may just be what we take. Swaggering Corsair is also fine. I don't like Path of Metal at all. So I think I'd probably take Raptor Companion over the other random cards here that are mediocre. I mean, Swaggering Corsair is better than Raptor Companion, but since I already have a white card, I'm just going to go for the white card. And this also just warps how your opponent plays against you. Okay, so we probably take Squire's Devotion. We're not sure we're going to be in Vampires, so I don't really want to take a Glorifier here. We could think about Crashing Tide. It's certainly solid, but I think I take Squire's Devotion here. It's a nice little aura. It's a card I like certainly in this format. And this adds 2 mana of any color to your mana pool too, so it's sort of a source of fixing. So that's also something to keep in mind. It's not bad with Enrage either. Another Path of Metal. Probably just take Martyr of Dusk here, though. White continues to look pretty open, and so I think we take it. Because, like, even if, like, my opponent, let's say, they attack into this with a 2/2, if I have a 2/2 in play, it's not that easy for them to attack into it. Because I can just block, kill their guy, and then kill my own guy and have this flip. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, we may just be red-white aggro with some Golden Guardian action at the top of the curve because... Now I think I take Goblin Trailblazer. It's just a nice aggressive creature. I like it more than the Corsair or the Border. And the other stuff in here is not even really worth considering. So, Trailblazer it is. Stampeding Horncrest. Okay, this is another pack that's pretty underwhelming. I'm not a big Snubhorn Sentry fan. Or a big Horncrest fan. I may just take the Ceratops here. Well, I guess the Horncrest can at least fight my Golden Guardian. Let's have that be the tiebreaker. It's not a horrible card either. It's just... Usually if you're in red-white, you don't want 5 drops. That was what I would say. So, you know, but the other card was with 5 drop too. So, yeah, we'll take another Devotion here. White seems very open to me. Other than that, I'm not convinced red is super open or anything. These are pretty good against cards like Luminous Bonds too, by the way, because we can like fight our own creature that's been Luminous Bonded. Our Squire's Devotion can make our Raptor companion big enough to kill Golden Guardian. I don't know. I just think this is going to wreak havoc. It'll be interesting to see. Another Horncrest or a Pterodon. I mean, Squire's Devotion is nice on a Pterodon, I can tell you that. But I mean, I guess this can also fight this without killing it in a board state where our opponent feels like they can attack. Yeah, let's take a Pterodon here instead of a Horncrest. I think it's a solid card. And I'm more certain I'm going to play white than I am red anyway. We could definitely be a vampire deck. I mean, we have 3 cards that make vampires. We have a couple cards that like dinosaurs, but neither of them are anything special. Too bad there aren't more ways to steal creatures in this format. Well, I think I'm going to take Sea Red and go full on aggro here. I could think about the Frillback, who can kill the Guardian, but I think I like the Sea Red. Do I want another Pterodon or a Cleansing Ray for the sideboard? I think I want a Cleansing Ray for the sideboard. These are both playable green cards, so maybe green's open. Don't want to play Strider Harness so much. If there were more ways to steal my opponent's creatures and then punch them with this, that would be awesome. Well, there's Path of Discovery, which is a card I love. But it is tempting. Especially because the red cards here and the white cards here aren't anything special. Conquistador is fine, but it's definitely better in a vampire deck, which I don't think we're going to be. Path of Discovery is strong. It definitely is the kind of card that can only win you the game. It wins you long games. It's not going to win you fast games, which most are in this format. So I think we just take another Trailblazer here. Are we going to end up in a world where we don't want to play our Guardians? I sure hope that's not the case. There's a Forerunner of the Legion. We have 1 vampire that it can find. Wow, we could have had back-to-back Path of Discovery too. Double Golden Guardian, double Path of Discovery. It's nice. Kitesail Corsair is also nice. Do we just take the trick here? We do have some pirates. It is a good trick. Yeah, I think we take the trick. Merfolk Mistbinder. This is a good pack if we were Merfolk. Probably take Exultant Sky Marcher here. Which does give us yet another vampire. Man, should we just be in vampires? It's kind of looking that way. We could think about it. I mean, we could also take Evolving Wilds, which opens up splashing opportunities. But like Sun-Colored Raptor is not great. It is a card that can fight with Golden Guardian, but the amount of it would take, I guess it takes 5 mana for them to kill each other. I like Firebrand actually. I'll just take him. Yeah, he's good. Good little guy. Polyraptor. That's some fun, huh? So we have Skymarch Aspirant and Frilled Death Spitter. They're both pretty good. Which do I want more? I don't know. We have a lot of 2s already. It's a vampire, which doesn't matter for us right now, but maybe it can. Dinosaur matters for us a little bit more. I guess I'll take the dinosaur. Ooh, Form of the Dinosaur. That's another card I really wanted to play with. This is going to be a very experimental draft. This is a card that I gave a B- to my set review. LSV gave like a 3.5 to it in his set review, and in LRcast they gave it like a B- too. And a lot of people have said that I overrated it, and then after LSV said it. People have said the same thing to him. And I might have, but I feel like the ability to just like kill things is pretty awesome. You do have to be careful with it, but I think we're going to take it and try this out. We're going to try 2 cards out in this draft. Okay, another Martyr of Dusk is great. I like it more than another Bravado. Well, I think we probably take Swaggering Corsair here. I think I like it a little more than the Death Spitter. And don't know what we're going to take here. Shatter, I guess, for the sideboard. Having one isn't a bad idea. Another Cleansing Ray for the sideboard, or another Suncrested Pterodon. I think I'll take a Cleansing Ray. Well, there's another one. Here I'll take a Raptor. I'm not sure I'll play it. Do we want a Rosca Relic? We're not really a ramp deck. I think I'd rather just take this in case we open up an off-color bomb or something and it makes it easier to splash. This time I'll take a Pterodon, but I'm probably not playing either of these. Our deck has like no tribal focus for the most part, which is usually true of red-white. You know, you just play the best aggressive creatures. And you know, sometimes some Golden Guardians just for fun. You haven't really seen anybody. I'm recording this about a week early, and I haven't seen anybody sort of revisit Form of the Dinosaur yet. By the time I post this, someone may have. But I think it's good. I mean, the thing that scares people about it is, you know, it costs 6 mana. It doesn't do anything immediately, but as soon as it gets to your upkeep, you get to start punching your opponent's creatures. And yeah, they do damage to you too, but I think that's okay. Well, charging Monstrosaur is always the right thing. I haven't gotten to draft him yet in this format. This pack's good for us, though. I wouldn't mind. I mean, this is not going to come back. It'd be great if it did. This is very strong for a black deck, obviously. The Aerosaur I wouldn't mind either, but charging Monstrosaur just makes his Horncrest look really bad. Okay, probably Thrash of Raptors here. We're more dinosaur-y than anything, that's for sure. I don't really like Imperial Lancer very much. Does get better in a world where you have Squire's Devotion, but I'm still not a big fan. I'd rather just have the Thrash here. This may not get played. I mean, I think both of these other 2 5-drops could potentially not get played. I'll put them over here for now. This is definitely a weird deck with our 2 Golden Guardians, but I think it'll be fine. So Pirate's Cutlass is like always good, but there's also a Territorial Hammer Skull, and I think, given the composition of our deck, I think I like the Hammer Skull a little better. Wouldn't mind Inspiring Cleric coming back. I doubt Pirate's Cutlass does. Hammer Skull is just great, though. So, okay, well, now we get a Cutlass, and there's also a Headstrong Brute, which we could think about, but I think we just take the Cutlass now. We don't have a ton of Pirates, but it's great even when you don't have Pirates. Like, it's just a really good equipment. Kinjali's Collar does a few things in our deck, but I don't think enough. I think we just take a Brute this time. Gives us another Pirate, by the way. Yeah, we have 4 Pirates now. Oh, 5 actually. I forgot about Swaggering Corsair. One thing we don't have any of, actually, is removal. I mean, other than Form of the Dinosaur. So it wouldn't be bad to pick up some removal here. Oh, we do have Luminous Bonds, don't we? Yeah, we have the 1 Luminous Bond. We have a Trick, too, which will function that way frequently. Obviously, Golden Guardian fighting Charging Monstrosaur is like the ideal thing for us to do, because Golden Guardian can't kill the Monstrosaur, and this will still transform. You can do it at instant speed. I mean, there's so much you can do with Golden Guardian that is hilarious. Well, interesting. So, Ratty Crew, I think, is a pretty underrated card. I think people really freak out about the fact that you don't get to choose what you get to discard, but you still end up netting a card. Like, you have to look at the percentages. Like, you're going to end up netting a card, and a significant portion of the time it'll be a 5/5. That said, we also have Pious Interdiction, which is a good removal spell. The question is, do I want this decent 4-drop? I'm not saying it's great, by the way, but a lot of people think it's just like a bad card. I've seen people in drafts underrate it pretty regularly. But it's a solid playable. I mean, and Pious Interdiction is a good removal spell, which is probably a little more than a solid playable. Yeah, I think I'll take it. We'll take this, but we're not going to play it, so. Okay, another Headstrong Brute. We're just turning into a pirate deck now, which is fine with me. So, we don't have enough Enrage for Rile to be worth it at all. We already have, I mean, I guess we don't have a land destruction spell, so who knows? Maybe someone else will have Golden Guardians or something. Okay, now I think we do take an Imperial Lancer. I don't think I mainboard it, but against a deck with a lot of X1s, it's a good sideboard card because it just laughs at everything. Inspiring Cleric Solid. Hijack does give me a way to Golden Guardian, but that's a little too cute. Like if I had 4 Golden Guardians, I'd think about it, but it's just not going to work out. I think I'll take the Cleric. I'm not sure it'll make the cut, but it is a solid card. So we're Pirate, Dinosaur, Nest Robber, sort of the same thing. Don't know if it'll make the cut, but Pirate, Dinosaur, Vampire deck here. / Golems, apparently. I wish I could fight my own guy with Form of the Dinosaur. Okay, so we'll group creatures separately. I don't think we really want to cut anything that's down here. If I cut anything, I think Buccaneer's Bravado or Sea Red would be the most likely, one of those. I think we'd rather just cut some of our less impressive creatures like Nest Robber and maybe Inspiring Cleric. I mean, gaining 4 life is it's a pretty big thing, and it's got decent stats, but pirates, I have reasons to want pirates now, and I don't have any reasons to want like a random vampire who doesn't do much. So I'll get rid of that. In the end, how many dinosaurs did we end up with? 1, 2, 3. Not that many, actually. We only have 5. So Thrash of Raptors, with only 5 dinosaurs, maybe we don't want Thrash of Raptors. I don't think we do. We do have the other dinosaurs over here, like these guys, but they're clunky, and I don't think we want them. I think I'd rather cut Thrash of Raptors and then bring back Inspiring Cleric. Yeah. Of course, I guess I actually need to cut. I think we need 17 lands in this deck with a 6 and a 5 and mana sinks. So I think Inspiring Cleric is once again not making the cut. We do only have 15 creatures, which is less than I'd like, but I think that's enough still for our... You know, we got a lot of 2-drops, 1-drops, good 3-drops, nice removal, and then nice top of the curve. So I think this will be the deck. We took, yeah, it's Forsaken Sanctuary. We don't really want or need that. Is 9/8 right? We do have a double white Sky Marcher. Our only double red is late game. Our only double white is early game. We do have more red 2-drops. Actually, we have 4 2 and 1-drops that are red. Oh no, we don't. They're not all creatures, so we only have 3. It's 3 and 3. I think in the end I go 9/8 here, and I think that's fine. All right, this looks to be our deck. I'll see you guys in the first match. Okay, so I think my audio was off for my first mulligan there, but we mulliganed. We had a 1-land hand that was not good, and now we have this hand. And yeah, it's not a great hand because we have our 5-drop and our 6-drop in it, but we do have a 2-drop at least. So there's that. That makes it a little better. I mean, we'll play Menace Creature into Menace Creature. That's a pretty strong beginning. We do need a third land to do that, but we have good chances of drawing a third land, and we do. So we're going to play Trailblazer into Brute, which is a pretty good start. I mean, our deck is kind of weird, I think, in that it is basically an aggro deck, but then at the top of the curve we have our friend Golden Guardian, who's sort of going to be like a late game blocker in a lot of scenarios and not much else, but it definitely holds down the ground while I can get in with evasive creatures and such. I think we still play the Brute here and hold off on the Corsair. Am I wrong to do that? Maybe I am. I'm tempted to play the Brute because it just lets me keep hitting my opponent more likely to hit them anyway. And the Corsair can attack, but the board's going to be a little bit clogged up. And the Brute will be able to attack and get raid going next turn. Even if the Trailblazer can't. Chances are the Trailblazer will be able to as well. If we draw a fourth land, we can just Pious Interdiction and keep bashing too. So that's pretty backbreaking for our opponent if that's what we do. Especially if we draw fourth land into fifth land, huh? That would be good. Pirate's Cutlass wouldn't be bad either. Opponent might be mono blue, but my guess is they're missing one of their colors. And they're probably blue-green. This isn't a great main board card. I've only main boarded it when things didn't go great in my draft, or I was in a heavy Merfolk deck. So I think actually in the last draft I recorded this week, I had one in my main board, maybe. The one for Monday. But it's nice that it can be blocked by dinosaurs, but even dinosaur decks aren't like 100% dinosaurs. It's the other tribes usually are like 80-90%, but most dinosaur decks are like 50 or 60% of their creatures are dinosaurs. I like the 2-mana 2/2 pirate who kills dinosaurs it does damage to even more because obviously it can trade with any dinosaur, even blocking it. This only matters when it's attacking and its stats aren't awesome. Okay, they're going to lock him down. I think we're okay with that. We can still play Corsairs at 3/3 here. There's our Golden Guardian. We do need to hit a land now, though, because after we play Corsair, everything in our hand costs 4 or more. So I think we have not Radiant Destiny. The kill a vampire or kill an enchantment card in our sideboard. So we may be bringing that in. Yeah, we definitely got the high end of our curve. And our curve's not great. We do have, a few 4s, 5s, and 6s, but not as many as this makes it look. Okay, so they're going to get to Brainstorm. Luckily, they don't have an Evolving Wilds in play. That's when it's especially nasty because you can just shuffle away whatever you put on top. It's already good even if you can't do that. But it's even better when you have a way to shuffle your library. They're probably digging for their other color more than anything. So I think the ideal thing here is for us to draw a land and just be able to play Pious Interdiction, attack with both of these in a way that our opponent just can't stop. Doesn't matter. I guess we'll put it on the Darter because it's a bigger creature. And then maybe we draw mana for Monstrosaur and can close out the game that way. Yep, they got the green that they probably wanted. There it is. So I could just play Golden Guardian and start getting that going, but I think I'm going to keep my foot on the gas pedal here and attack, especially because it sets up Monstrosaur really well in most situations. So we're going to attack with both of these. Obviously, if our Brute was getting in there too, we'd be even happier, but all right, so we drop them to 11. This is going to be, what's kind of a nombo, by the way, is Form of the Dinosaur plus Pious Interdiction. That's something you ideally probably don't want to have both in your deck because we have to fight something. And if this ends up being their only creature in play, then we just have to start hitting it. But thing is, if this is our opponent's only creature in play anyway, we probably won. So that's one way to look at it. Punching blockers out of the way is definitely better. And there definitely will be times where this just kills you, but I don't think it'll be all that often. Yeah, so Golden Guardian. So it does work well again with Water Knot because we can hit our own creature with the activated ability, like in response to them killing Golden Guardian or something. Wayfinder. That does have the potential to be largish. And it got there. Aggressive Urge. Okay. They might just put that in their graveyard given... Yeah, they do. They do. So what we really want to do is draw Monstrosaur mana here. Can we do it? No. However, actually, it doesn't help that much. Might just be better to play Golden Guardian. I mean, it makes this guy a 4/4. You can still just double block and kill it. I think I am going to attack with the Trailblazer. Yeah, I think I just attack with Trailblazer and then play Guardian. Because if I kill Riverwise Augur, which is what will happen, I feel fine about that. Or if I get in for 2, I feel fine about that too. Yeah, so we'll kill the Augur here. The more we can empty out the board for Monstrosaur ahead of Monstrosaur, the better. All right, Golden Guardian is down. Obviously, Golden Guardian fighting Monstrosaur is a nice thing to do as well. Let's see what they have here. 5 mana. A little scared. No, not scared. Too small to really be worried about. I mean, it just dies in combat to everything. Okay, so here's what we're going to do is play Charging Monstrosaur. Attack with Swaggering Corsair and Monstrosaur. This is a game where Form of the Dinosaur, if we draw the other red mana, is going to be really good because it's just going to free up the board for us. So they can kill our Monstrosaur here, but obviously we get a 2-for-1. So we're kind of okay with that. And we still get in for 3. So they could also just decide to trade with this and take 5 to the face, but that seems less likely. Yeah, they're just going to double block, which I'm cool with. Drops our opponent's 8. Obviously, if we can leave mana up for Golden Guardian, that's what we want to do, but right now it's not really possible. It does lower our life right now to play Form. It's definitely better when you're at like lower than 15 to play it, but I think it would give us enough of an edge to win this game if we played it, even though we have to pay 5 life initially, and then more life as things go on. Golden Guardian can block most merfolk, even this way. So, okay, if they're tapping out for a single creature, we feel pretty good about that because Swaggering Corsair most likely can attack through it, and he can. So that is good news. Okay, well, we don't have our double red. We're going to play Squire's Devotion here. Now it's really going to hit us. Our own Form of the Dinosaur would drain us here. But that's just a good attack. We have mana up for Golden Guardian in case something happens. And we'll hold on to this land. This is a pretty cool design for a card, incidentally. Like, the design for all these double face cards is cool, but the way this one flips is pretty interesting / weird. I mean, Form of the Dinosaur would just allow us to kill, like, everything, and that's pretty awesome. Oh, that merfolk has flying, so we can't block it. We can, if we attack with this, we still get a 2-for-1 right now because they have their creatures just aren't big enough. Still no Form of the Dinosaur mana. Okay. The question is, if my opponent blocks, is it worth it to just fight this and flip this and start making golems? Or do I need to thin out their board as much as I can? I don't know. Either way, I'm attacking. I'll think about it after they decide what they want to do. I can start making golems right away, so it's a hard choice. But I think we just want to kill them. Kill the creatures, that is. Oh, no, we don't get a 2-for-1. What was I talking about? Well, if I'm only killing one creature, I think I do just want to do this. Let's do it. Let's be crazy. It will flip, and we'll be able to make a golem, our first golem this turn. So we're also still going to gain the 4 life. So that's cool. Opponent might have something to do in response. If they do, then we are not in great shape. They do seem to be thinking, which isn't good for us. There is one bounce spell that costs 2 blue. There's also sea legs, which, oh, never mind, it wouldn't work because it's a pirate. All right, we're just going to start churning out golems now to finish off this game, in theory. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, 4 and tap it to make a golem. Can't block either of these, but we're at 28, and our golem is going to be able to rumble with basically anything, our golems that we make, in theory at least. And maybe we'll get lucky and I'll attack with that Gilt Grove Stalker too, but that seems unlikely. Yeah, we're just going to take 5. Oh, no? Well, let's see what happens here then. Could just have a bounce spell for it, I suppose. Or a trick. Yeah, they could have the Merfolk bounce spell. Yeah, they do. All right, so we take 7 here. Okay, well, we can attack with our vampire token. So that's cool. Question is, do we play Form of the Dragon now too? I don't think we do. I think I'm going to wait another turn or two until we've at least dropped below 15. I mean, it will allow me to start killing my opponent's creatures, which is nice. All right, so let's attack with our vampire token. Should drop my opponent to 3. Then we can also play Martyr of Dusk and use Goldforge Garrison this turn. Too bad we didn't have a combat trick there. Would have been hilarious. Yeah, we'll play this. We'll play this. And we'll end our turn. Still can't block anything, but it gives me another threat at least. Like, my opponent can't effectively block Martyr of Dusk with anything but their Spirewinder right now. You can't even block the vampire with anything other than Spirewinder right now, so they may have to go more defensive here, which is great for us because even if we flood here, we just keep making golems every turn. Yeah, they're going aggro. Man, they must have another one of those bounce spells, but I say we make them use it, right? Yeah, they have another one. Nope, it is the different one. Luckily, it doesn't actually go on top of my library because it's a token, so we at least made that card a little worse there than it normally is. And then we're going to take 3, 5, 7, 9. Ouchies. Now they actually have something. Yeah. Okay. Guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're in trouble now because our opponent keeps drawing action. And we are actually flooding. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our 9th mana. Form puts me to 15, and then I take 2, 4, 3, 5, 7 in the air. Well, 9 really, that I can't stop. Yeah, I think I wait one more turn to play Form of the Dragon. This time we can't attack through Tempest Caller, unfortunately, so... Form of the Dinosaur. I think I said Form of the Dragon. That's the card that it's sort of inspired by, but not what it is. I think I still try to block this over Tempest Caller just because this has more evasion right now. So they're going to drop me low here. And then Form of the Dinosaur will take me back up, in theory. Yeah, so finally they don't have a bounce spell for a golem. That's good news. So that drops us to 6. We make a golem. Ooh, that's pretty good. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can actually play both of these. Actually, this is more than 9. I'm not going to be able to make a golem this turn, but I think that's probably okay. Yeah. I'm just going to pump up the golem we already have. I could pump this instead, and then I have 2 lethal creatures. I'm not sure that's worth it, though. I mean, this will stay behind. This will just get killed. Yeah, let's put it on the golem. We're going to attack first, see what happens in combat here, and then decide if we really want to play Form of the Dragon. Because now, Form of the Dinosaur, because gaining the life now from this, we're in a much better position, but it still may not be good enough. I think playing the Form is probably still going to be better. I mean, this is going to take us to 11, but we can punch a blocker out of the way with Form of the Dinosaur next turn. Okay. Takes us to 11. So let's see here. They can attack for 7 and drop me to 8. Then I have to kill something, and then I gain life again from this. Yeah, let's play it. Let's do this thing. Got to experiment with both of our experimental cards in this first game. So, and I think they're both going to pay off. We'll see, though. We go up to 15. We can't block this, so we take 9 and go to 6. I guess that's the one thing Squire's Devotion could have been good for. But yeah, we'll go to 6, and then we have to fight something, which will drop us lower. So I guess if they have a pump spell or something here, we're in some trouble. This is the only enchantment we've seen. I'm not sure if that's enough for me to bring in enchantment hate. Okay. Yeah, we got there. Form plus golems got us there. That actually worked out pretty well because our aggro plan sort of went in the toilet because our opponent just started to get ahead of us, and then Golden Guardian managed to pull us back into the game, and Form of the Dinosaur sort of clinched it for us. Cleansing Ray is what I was talking about. I don't think I saw enough to want it. If I saw like a vampire and an enchantment or 2 enchantments, I would probably bring it in. As is, I think we just roll with what we have. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Could be better with more creatures, but we'll draw more. We can play Raptor Companion and then stick Sea Red on it, and that is not an easy thing to stop early. I mean, it'll be a 5/2 first striker. I mean, obviously removal stops it, but combat can't deal with that very effectively. You can even put Pirate's Cutlass on it. I mean, this hand is not the worst plan, you know? Would be better if I had the evasive 2-drop instead, but this is still pretty good. Especially because the evasive 2-drop would be able to have Pirate's Cutlass stuck on it for free. That would obviously be really nice. Kitesail Corsair is very good 2-drop. There's a lot of good 2-drops in this format, and Raptor Companion isn't really one of them. He's a fine 2-drop, but there's lots of good 2-drops here with evasive abilities. So with all the bounce we know they have, if they just pass turn here, okay, they're not. Oh, well, they're bouncing him now. Works for me. Okay, well now we play Trailblazer instead, since we can stick the Cutlass on him for free and whatnot. So we'll play Trailblazer. Crashing Tide does make our auras a little scarier, but I guess this is the only one we have, right? Oh, no, we have the lifelink one. It worked for us pretty well in that last game, despite all the bounce our opponent had. Are they just pumping their dude? They are. What are they digging for so desperately? Do they have like a handful of lands and 2 cantrips? They might. That's not good for them. So I think because of the huge downside that is possible if they bounce this, and since I have the option of playing Pirate's Cutlass, I'm just going to play the Cutlass. There's still downside, but it's not as extreme because at least the Cutlass stays on the battlefield. So that is a significant difference between playing the aura there. All right, so we attack for 4. Our deck has enough enchantments that you want enchantment hate against it, I can tell you that. And artifacts. In their case, they may have brought in Naturalize. So they saw Pious Interdiction and they saw 2 Squire's Devotions. And now they've seen Pirate's Cutlass, so. So Golden Guardian's not great here. I don't think I play it. I think I just put Sea Red on the Trailblazer and then play Raptor Companion. Yeah. They only have 1 blue mana up, so let's do it. We are seeing red. Now, they could bounce him, which, again, wouldn't be fun, but at least we get in for 1 hit here. Yeah, and then we'll play Raptor Companion, which they know we have in our hand. We've had it since they bounced it. So, let's see if they have a bounce spell. It could have been Run Aground, but it was not. So does Pious Interdiction here just like really... It doesn't quite clinch us the game, but it would make a significant problem for our opponent. Especially if they decide to attack here. And they might. Since who blocks in this format, you know? And they may be scared enough that they're not going to. Nope, they're going to. Is Golden Guardian or Pious Interdiction better here? I might play the Guardian first. Wow. Aggressive. Yeah, we're just going to take 4 and go to 9. That means I think there's a significant chance they have their 2 mana bounce spell. No? No, they might, but they're not playing it now anyway. Okay. So we can hit them for 9. It's kind of like must block, but I guess not really. I think just Trailblazer's going to get in there. And then we'll play Golden Guardian. He can block all the guys on the ground. Raptor Companion can too, actually. That's one thing he has over a lot of the 2-drops. He can block this evasive 2-drop, and the other ones can't really. So we'll play Golden Guardian. We even have the mana up to fight if that's what we wanted to do. I don't think that's what we would want to do right now. If they bounce him, we're not going to be very happy. Okay. We take 2. Okay. So now we're putting Pious Interdiction on something. I think we put it on their most evasive creature. So we stick it... Well, we could stick it there, but I think... Yeah, let's do it. Let's put it there. Takes us up to 9, too, which is pretty relevant in this race. Now is when we see if they have a bounce spell, because we're going to attack with both of these. And they have to double block this if they don't have a bounce spell. So they go to 1 if they don't, basically. Well, that's good for us. Obviously enough. Take them down to 1. Yeah, we got there. All right, well, our aggro deck, in game 1, we actually got to go off with Golden Guardian, and it worked pretty well. So see you guys in the next match. All right, second match, we are 1-0, as you probably know. We don't have the fastest hand here, but I think it's a reasonable keep. We definitely want a 2-drop, but I think this is fine. We might draw a 2-drop too. We get 2 draw steps to try to hit one. And if we don't, I mean, if we go Death Spitter, See Red, that's not bad. That's a good way to catch back up when you play a creature that big. Okay, we got some removal. That helps too. That's going to help us not die quickly, theoretically. They're also red-white. Raptor Companion, okay. Crap. All right, so we are probably gonna take 6 from this companion before we can stabilize, which is not good. Especially if they play something like Territorial Hammerskull right here. No, they have their own Death Spitter though, which also isn't good. So we're gonna take like 9 before we feel like we can block. Hey, where were you last turn, man? Would have been nice. Next turn we can play Sea Red and Raptor Companion. We have to attack if we play Sea Red, but it's probably okay. Probably. I could think about trading, I guess, the more I look at this. It's just so dangerous. These colors have such good combat tricks. Let's go to 11. Trailblazer. Oh, God. These are all cards that are in our deck. We even have 2 of those. Okay. Wish I had more red mana right now. So we take 3, 6, 8, 9, or 8, 10, rather, on the backswing. So I think that means we actually just have to play Raptor Companion and hold up Buccaneer's Bravado here with the intention of trying to kill something. Yeah, I think that's the plan, unfortunately. Opponent got off to a way quicker start than we did, and that's not so good. They have a Pirate in play, so that's going to get equipped for free. Gross. So we're going to have to take 6 from the Menace guys. I'll probably kill their Death Spitter with mine, plus Buccaneer's Bravado, and I'll trade with their Raptor Companion, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. There's not a lot of ways for us to salvage this. So we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Funny thing is, since we're going to give it first strike, they're not going to get damaged at all. And we'll get enraged on for 2. So this is going to put us at 3, is that right? Yes. It is right. Okay. If we draw a creature, we're not out of this yet because we can Luminous Bonds one of them, a 2-drop creature, I should say. We can Luminous Bonds one of them, and yeah, we didn't do it though. So, well, I guess we're still not complete. No, yeah, we are, because they can just move the Cutlass. So, yeah. Red-white versus red-white. It's probably going to be a quick match, one way or the other. I don't think we want something like Nest Robber. I mean, I think if we're the ones getting off to the quick start, Sea Red is going to be great for us. It was pretty ugly there, but I don't think that's going to be the case every time. Cleansing Ray doesn't seem great. Inspiring Cleric might actually be worth bringing in this matchup. Like gaining 4 and then trading with the guy is pretty good. Maybe it's just better than Death Spitter here. It probably is. Death Spitter's good, but I think gaining life can really help us stabilize. We do already have other sources of life gain, but I think adding another one is a good idea. Makes it a lot harder for them to race you. Of course, that last game wasn't even really a race. It was just them running full speed and us slowly following them. Okay, this is a better one. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, and the 3-drop is Territorial Hammerskull, and we have a 4-drop too. No red mana, but that's probably okay. I think, anyway. Glad they didn't play the 1-mana guy who just kills Raptor Companion. We have one of those, but we haven't played him yet. The new Mog Fanatic, whatever it's called. Pirate Fanatic. God, I don't know. But yeah, obviously Hammerskull's great when in conjunction with Raptor Companion. Trailblazer. My guess is they're not going to block. I mean, if they want to trade, I think we're okay with it. Hey, red mana. Yeah, I'm fine with trading this for that. Oh, okay. They are too, surprisingly enough. Okay. We will play Hammerskull. The Hammerskull can get big enough to make Golden Guardian flip. But I think in this matchup, thinking we're going to flip Golden Guardian is probably wishful thinking. I think he's mostly just going to be a great blocker, which is relevant, but not as exciting as it could otherwise be. Okay, so we're going to attack with a Hammerskull. Obviously, tap down their guy. Get in for 2. And play Golden Guardian here. I don't think I block if he attacks with Death Spitter here. Yeah, I don't think we do. Deal on all these knights. Interesting. Okay. We're gonna attack. I was going to play the Cutlass, but I don't think I do now. I think I just tap down Frill Death Spitter when I attack with the Hammerskull, if that happens. Okay. And so we tap him down. They don't have a good block now unless they use a trick. Okay, so they go to 16, and then we play a 3/3 Corsair here. And then next turn we can equip the Corsair for free. We also have mana up for fighting. That's the real problem that Golden Guardian creates for people here, is if I have mana up like I do now and he decides to attack into it, I can basically sacrifice it and another creature to get to turn it into the land, and that's a pretty good deal. So people aren't often going to be wanting to block him or attack into him. Okay, so they're trying to make it so they can kill my Hammer Skull, which does make sense. Okay, so it's Cutlass time. Equip it to Corsair here. And I think we attack with the Corsair and the Hammer Skull. Yeah, we do. Hammer Skull's gonna die here, but it will make it harder for my opponent to effectively block. It'll put them further behind on the board too. Yeah, we'll tap you again. I think in this case, if he decides to double block this and kill it, we just let it happen. This time we will be taking down 2 cards. Last time we were only going to kill 1 thing if we didn't fight it. So this time they have to block with all 3 of their creatures and lose all 3 of them if they want to get rid of both of these. So pretty good for us, obviously. They are going to do it. I think we're fine with that. I think our opponent has 1 card left in their hand. We have 1 left in ours. It sort of puts us in top deck mode, but my board is better right now. So I can even put the Cutlass on my Golden Guardian, and I will. Doesn't have anything to fight right now anyway. So he's just a brick wall now. That's great. Getting an evasive threat is very good news. Yeah, I think I move the Cutlass now, just in case I draw something next turn. I guess I'll play the land just in case I just want to fight them. Like if they play a kill spell here, I just have them fight each other and get the land going. If he attacks here, I just take 3. I've been willing to do that all along, so I am still willing to do it. Okay, so Sky Marcher is going to attack. Drops them to 12. I'm going to play the Trailblazer and end my turn. I could move the Cutlass, but I don't really think it's necessary. I think flying, obviously putting it on a flyer, right, it's going to be better than on a Trailblazer in most cases. Let's see what they have for me here. Yeah, they're not killing either of these because they know that it would just mean I get a Golem Foundry or whatever it's called. Gold Forge Garrison. Okay, Brute is not going to have Menace right now, but that's okay. It's another dude. We're very happy to just keep drawing gas right here. This may well be a 3 games that is determined by whoever went first because of how fast both of our decks are. So we'll see. He's just a brick wall in this game, but that's pretty useful in a race, so. So I'm happy with it. Now I would block him because, yeah, if he decides to find a way to kill this, I would just have it fight the Brute. They'd both die, and I'd get the Gold Forge Garrison. And I could make a Golem. Oh, no, I couldn't. Because I have to pay 2 for the activated ability. Do I put the Cutlass on the Brute here so that they can both attack without the Brute, and the Brute wouldn't be able to die? I think we do. Well, no, we don't. that's good and all, but this means if we just attack here, our opponent is dead in the air next turn. So I don't even think we attack with the Brood, honestly. All right, we dropped them before. We're going to hold on to this land and bluff, and we're going to end our turn. Now we would be able to make a golem right away. We have 7 mana, so yeah. All right, we win game 2 as it looked like we would there. Both were pretty one-sided, although our opponent did kill us more quickly. I think we were both at 20 when we won. So, do I want Form of the Dinosaur here? I actually think maybe I don't, and maybe I'd rather have some more dudes, like get the Death Spitter back in here. It's just too slow. Yeah, it's too slow for this matchup. I should have taken it out after the first one. Okay, this is a solid hand. Definitely if we can get to 4 and then 5, we're in good shape. And we have an early drop, which is not something we had in game 1. We have 2 early drops now. So we have a turn 2, turn 3 for 2/2 drops. And then turn 4 Guardian, turn 5 Monstrosaur. Seems pretty good. Ooh, they don't have their 2-drop, though. That means we definitely play Trailblazer. I wonder if our opponent has Dual Shot. Obviously, Dual Shot's super good in this format. As a sideboard card, it's good. And you can even mainboard it. Because there's so many of these X1s. We have 2 of them in our hand, in our starting hand here. Okay, so we attack with our Menace guy. I think I'd probably block with Martyr of Dusk. We haven't actually seen tricks for the most part. Doesn't mean they don't have them, but I think the downside of taking, losing my guy is just fine. If we can get them to use a trick to kill Martyr of Dusk instead of our Golden Guardian, we're pretty happy with that too, I think. So, yeah. But Dual Shot here would be pretty potent, obviously. They'd kill both of these. I would get a Vampire token, but that's not enough to to mitigate against how badly we get blown out. I think I just attack with both my guys. I could play Pious Interdiction, but I don't think I want to. We want to try to thin out the board if we can, so that Monstrosaur can come down next turn and just rumble without dying. They might just take both of these, and that's fine. This will put them to 14, and then we have... Then we can just... We're playing Golden Guardian this turn, too, so it will be blocking, hopefully. Okay. They go to 14, which works for us. Again, kind of would have liked to thin out the board a little more ahead of our Monstrosaur, but this is okay with me. Yeah, we have 2 of these, which our opponents haven't seen yet. Otherwise, this is when you want to bring in Shatter. We have 2 Golden Guardians and a Pirate's Cutlass. So, Shatter's not usually a good sideboard card, but it works here. Wow, that's a lot of guys you got. Okay, I'm going to take 6. This Monstrosaur is going to be big. If they don't play something else here, I feel like playing Monstrosaur is just going to flip this race all the way for us. Because we're going to attack for 9 here, leave back Golden Guardian. They swing back at us for 9, but then what? We even have Pious Interdiction to gain a little bit of life, if that's what we want to do. And it's not that hard for us to flip Golden Guardian now either, for what that's worth. We also have Sea Red, though they don't know that. Two mana. Like, even if they have Shatter here, like, they attack us for 9, and then we went on the backswing in most scenarios, unless they have their own Monstrosaur. That would be bad. Then it would be exactly lethal. Okay, they're bravadoing. They're going to kill one of these guys. Probably the Menace guy, because they don't really want to give us... Oh, no, they're killing him. Interesting. Okay. We don't have to take any damage from Enrage. We drop them to 7. We have our Golem still in play. Pious Interdiction and Sea Red in our hand. What do we put Sea Red on? Monster Sword's pretty gross. Place to put it. Cutlass. So we're going to put Interdiction on whatever this Cutlass goes on to, assuming he tries to leave it back as a blocker. Yeah. For sure. Okay. Well, I think this is going to do a pretty good job of securing things for us because we go Pious Interdiction. Put Sea Red on Monstrosaur, and then they just don't have any good blocks to speak of. And they have to block him. He's 7 on his own. They don't have to double block him. They can only block. They can just block him with one thing, but they have to block him. I'm going to leave back to Vampire just to be careful. It's not going to really do anything on offense anyway. He's not going to be able to block the Trailblazer, so because he has to block Monstrosaur. So, all right, we got there. So, Golden Guardian, for the most part, has really just sort of been like a brick wall for us, and that has worked pretty well. I mean, we kept these guys at bay. They just couldn't get through him, and our other guys finished the job. So, see you guys in the next match. All right, we're going to the final match, trying to go 3-0. This is not a good hand at all, though, obviously. Just have Form of the Dinosaur and Pirate's Cutlass. It's not really what you want to have in your opening hand. Okay, this is better. It's not great, but we will keep it. Yeah, we'll leave that on top, I think. We need spells, certainly. We don't have an early 2-drop. I mean, I could have put that on the bottom in favor of trying to hit a 2-drop, but I think not hitting one's okay. Are we up against red-white again? No. Also a very aggressive color pair, though. If it can curve out with pirates and then play the gold uncommon, it's pretty scary. It's a scary thing to deal with. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we just play Sky Marcher next turn. I mean, it can block this thing for one thing. And it's also evasive, so no Cutlass. That's good news. But a 3-drop Pirate isn't great news either. I mean, at least they had to play that guy for 3. Okay, we definitely play Sky Marcher since it can easily set up Swaggering Corsair next turn. So yeah, we'll play the Sky Marcher here. Do they play Direfleet Neckbreaker? If they do, we are in for some trouble. Okay, well, that's also not good. Not as bad as Neckbreaker, but losing our guy who we were going to raid with is not so good. And another pirate. Yeah, that's not so good for us. I think we played Death Spitter, mostly just planning to trade. Leave white mana up, pretending we have a trick. There is a 1 white mana trick. We basically have to trade or die. So I think that's what we'll do. Obviously, if they blow this guy out with a spell here, we're really dead. Yeah, so I think we block... I'm going to block Dinosaur Hunter. Now, we do lose the opportunity to potentially set up a 3/3 Corsair, but we're not really in a position to want to raid anyway in this game. We're just trying to stay alive, which probably isn't a good place for our deck to be in most ways, since we're supposed to be the aggressor. We've had one other game like this, and then we managed to win the next 2, so see if we can do that again. All right, this not so good. This guy can't block, which is pretty bad right now. So I think we just have to play our Corsair, planning to trade with Daring Buccaneer. If I can avoid giving them treasure, I think I should. They are out of gas or close to it. I mean, they had 3 extra mana and didn't play anything. They did, of course, just draw their card for their turn, so they may have something, but I think we just have to block again, and may as well block the biggest creature. We can't block the Menace one, otherwise that's what I would do. I'll probably play Pious Interdiction on the Menace one this turn. Okay. We are just trying to stay alive. Not a good place to be in this format. Probably have to side out Form of the Dragon again. Form of the Dinosaur again. I think it's going to be too slow here. Sure, it can kill their little guys, but counting on actually getting to that turn is pretty... Although, honestly, drawing it right now wouldn't be too bad. That's not so good, though. Okay, yeah, they get both those guys back that we just had to trade with. Now that looks really bad. Excuse me. But yeah, so... Form of the Dragon would take us up to 15, then we would take 8, and go to 7, and then kill one of them and go to 5. Yeah, we're dead. We can Pious Interdiction one and basically survive one more turn, I guess. But yeah, we're going to hit another land. So I think Form of the Dragon's probably out. Form of the Dinosaur, if I call it Form of the Dragon one more time. So Inspiring Cleric's probably good again. And I think I bring it in. And, I mean, these guys are going to be good. They could block all those guys, except for the ones with Menace. But they're really good in this format. I think this draft has convinced me of that just because they block everything pretty well. And then can turn into a value engine. I don't think we have any reason to bring in Shatter or Cleansing Ray. We did see a Cutlass, but one Cutlass isn't enough of a reason to bring in Shatter. You have to... For sideboard cards to be worth bringing in... I feel like you have to see like 2 to 3 targets, because if they only have one, there's a very good chance it's never going to do anything. And that's not really what you want to do. That is not a good hand either. My God. Went from all car. Oh, man, that's... Okay, this one's not good either. Well, so much for the hoping we might go 3-0. Our hands here have undone us. I mean, we are hitting a land, so if we can just hit a bunch of lands in a row here, we might be okay, given how aggressive our hand is. But even then, you know, all our opponent has to do is throw one wrench in our plans, and we're like, okay, well, that was fun. So if we draw another land, we go Hammer Skull. If we draw another land, we go Brute, and then Monstrosaur. I mean, that's pretty potent. And they don't have a 2-drop this time. Okay, well, that's not so good. They did also mulligan to 6, so we're not like completely screwed. It's not like they had a full hand of 7. And it looks like they kept a hand that was suboptimal, which is also good news. But we really needed a 3rd land for Hammer Skull. Obviously enough. This would have been good against them in our first game. We just never got it. Yeah, they did keep a suboptimal hand, but if we can't hit a land, we did it. We hit a land, everybody. So that's good news. We can at least play most of the cards in our hand now. So we're going to attack. Drop them to 16. Play Hammer Skull, who may just eat a Lightning Strike. There's a very good chance of that. They're less inclined to Lightning Strike this just because it has 1 toughness for one thing, and for another thing, it leaves behind... Yeah, there it goes. I was going to say, that the fact that they kept this hand means it has something going on, and I think that something is removal. Okay, Trailblazer's nice. I think I play the Brute first, just because turning on Menace next turn by playing the Trailblazer is pretty nice. So we got a chance, you guys, despite the horrendous first 2 hands we saw here. Yeah, we're going to play the Brute. He is headstrong. Do they hit their black mana? Nope, that's good news for us. All right. Well, we don't even need to turn on Menace. So I think I'm just going to play the Cleric here and attack with both of them. Cleric keeps the offense coming while also gaining us a bit of life. And with Squire's Devotion, that potentially gives us lethal next turn. So, there's their black. So, see if they can manage to crawl back into this. It's entirely possible. But definitely our opponent's deck, like ours, wants to start with Strong Curve, and they didn't get to do that, and that's good news. We didn't get to do it in game 1. Ooh. Who needs a Strong Curve when you have Rekindling Phoenix, huh? It might still be too slow is the good news. Trying to decide what I want to put Squire's Devotion on. If I put it here, all 3 of them can attack and trade. And the Phoenix will come back, but they'll be pretty low on life. I could also just play Trailblazer, and then they can't block this at all. But I think I want to play the Devotion. And I think I put it here, so all 3 of them can attack. But this is a good way for our opponent to get back in the game by playing a card like that. That will do it, potentially, because it's just going to come back. My hope is they block the Martyr, and we can play Trailblazer next turn and give this Menace, and hopefully that actually matters. But there's a good chance they block it because they know it has Menace. You know, it could have Menace. It doesn't have it now, but yeah, that's what they're going to do. I think that's the correct thing to do. So we drop them to 3. We go up to 27. It also keeps me from getting a Vampire token, so. All right. We will end our turn. Phoenix comes back. If we can get to 5, we're in really good shape here, but I can't imagine they attack with it, given the board, so that's good, I guess. It does mean there's not... They have to play another blocker here, or they're dead, basically, so... Because these are both lethal. I'm sure they have another blocker. Yeah, they do. And it's one that can help them sift through their cards a little. Okay, it's a 1-2. So we don't have any attacks this turn, and that's not good. It's going to give our opponent time to figure something out over there. I guess if we draw Luminous Bonds, we can still win this turn, but that's about it, and we didn't. So we're not even going to attack. I don't think there's a reason to. Basically, all we would accomplish is killing Seeker's Squire. I think it's better here for us to just try to go wide, which is what we need to do against our opponent right now. So we're going to go Trailblazer, Companion, another creature whose damage is lethal, and we have Monstrosaur too, of course. So we're going to pass the turn and try to smash in for enough damage here. We have 3 creatures that are lethal, and then these 2 together are lethal. So they have to block all but one thing or die. So it's not an easy task, given that one of them has Menace too. And if we draw a 5th land for Monstrosaur, I think we basically win. I can't imagine something they play here that would keep that from happening if we draw our 5th land. There's not a whole lot out there. They could kill all 3 of these with an effect that does 1 damage to everything, and that would be bad. But they would have to tap most of their mana to do that, and then we'd play Charging Monstrosaur. Yeah, we got there. Okay. So neither of the first 2 games was a thing of beauty. Yeah, that freaking Phoenix is a problem, though, huh? We're lucky that it took them so long to hit their 4th land. Because we don't have a way. We have a couple ways of stopping it that are our enchantment based removal, but other than that, we're in trouble. This is another, like, where's our 2-drop kind of hand, And the question is whether I need to send this back, given how fast our opponent showed us they were in game 1 when we're the ones on the draw. I kind of feel like we need to. Could end up backfiring, but okay. I'm going to keep this. We're going to put that on the bottom and pray we hit a land. We do have a couple turns, couple draws to do it. So it has to be a mountain too, so it's a little sketchy. Yeah, we hit a plains. That's not really what we wanted. We have both our Squire's Devotions. Maybe I should have kept that first hand, huh? So if they're curving out this time, looks like they're on their way to doing so. Forerunner of the Empire. Yeah, that's good against our deck, and that's not good news for us. That kills a lot of our creatures. We really need to just like Squire's Devotion, Buccaneer Bravado on Headstrong Brute. That's what we want to do. They're throwing it away. That's good news for us. They may be trying to hit lands too. Mountain? Oh, no. Okay. Well, in this game we're having happen to us what happened to them in the last one. So the last hand would have been better because we would have at least played something on turn 3. And unless we draw a mountain here, we're not going to. Great. We could put our Squire's Devotion on one of their creatures just to get a vampire. Yeah, none of these 3 games was very good, huh? All of them were very lopsided for the, unfun reasons in Magic. Although I guess in game 1 I didn't actually. I just had a slow start. I wasn't mana screwed or anything. Oh my god! What's happening to us now is exactly what happened to them in the last game. I'm sure they feel vindicated that we've just drawn every. So the good news is if we draw a mountain, we can immediately play Trailblazer and put Squire's Devotion on it, which will be pretty helpful for helping us get back in this, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Maybe I should have kept that first hand. I had the Guardians in it who could have helped me stabilize on turn 4. Ooh, are we just dead? Not quite, but basically. We need to draw a mountain here. Not a mountain, but it does keep us alive for one more turn. Maybe. They probably have Lightning Strike to kill us. And that's why they were willing to fire off the Bravado. No, just a Dinosaur Hunter. Psh. We're going to go to 1 here. We might have to put Squire's Devotion on a Vampire token. It's not really what we want to be doing. If we don't get to trade here, we're really screwed. Okay, we do. We get a Vampire token. I would rather draw the mountain so I can play Trailblazer. Oh, they do have Lightning Strike. They just decided to attack. Okay, well, last match was not a pretty one in any way, really. But, we 2-1. I think our deck was pretty good, and I think it showed that it was. We didn't get to play Form of the Dinosaur as much as I wanted, but, that's okay. See you guys again for Monday's draft video. Don't forget to subscribe so you catch all of my draft videos.